G'day, WWE. We're gonna have a little talk. I just got done watching the Royal Rumble for 2014, and thank God that the people in Pittsburgh, I think, they let you know exactly how they felt about your product. Fucking good on you guys in the audience for, just not, just sitting there and watching this bullshit transpire, but actually speaking up. You guys want to fucking see Daniel Bryan? Let the world hear it. If you don't like the fucking Cena-Orton match like the rest of the other people in the world, just fucking chant it's boring and chant for something better and different. Make your voices heard. That's the only way you're going to change this fucking failure of a product. Let's go through this sort of match by match. Almost fucking ironically, the pre-show match between the Rhodes brothers, I think they're calling themselves the Brotherhood now, and the New Age Outlaws, was probably one of the best matches on the entire card. And you fucking gave that away for free. Like you always do with Raw anyway, because, heaven forbid, people actually get matches they pay to see. Matches that you're like, you have to pay to see these, and, never get any good ones. Except, oh, look, the Raw straight after, there's the matches you want, but they're completely free, because we got your money anyway. The match, to be honest, even though the New Age Outlaws, not exactly new anymore, considering their ages, I felt that they put on a good match, much better than that singles match Billy Gunn had with CM Punk the other day on Raw. But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of the good things you're going to hear about in my taste. Once again, all of this is subjective. Wrestling itself is subjective. I fucking hate John Cena. You might like him. Who's to say I'm right and you're wrong? It's entertainment. What appeals to me might not appeal to you. End of story. If you cannot see that, then you're not going to like where this goes. Okay, so we had Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan, which was an alright match. I'm not particularly a fan of either of them. Yeah, shock horror, not a fan of Daniel Bryan. We'll get to that in a little bit, the whole Daniel Bryan thing. To be honest, I really liked a couple of spots in the match. I liked Daniel Bryan having his head thrown into the barricade by the Sister Abigail sort of twist that Bray Wyatt does. I thought that was pretty cool. Apart from that, nothing really stands out in the mind. Bray was doing his creepy cult stuff as always, but apart from that, it was average. As I said, nothing really stands out in my mind except for that one spot. So, considering that that's the best match at all that I had to pay for, that's saying something. So next up, we had Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show. Now, let's be honest. If you're joining this and you're going to be like, Brock Lesnar, he's from the MMA and he should kick the shit out of, Big Show instantly because of that reason. It might not have occurred to you, nice people, but pro wrestling is scripted. That's right, it's sports entertainment. And in case you didn't get the memo, fucking 10 years ago when that might have been a relevant topic, there you go, you now know. The more you know, right? So, Brock Lesnar comes out and he's supposed to have this big threat with Big Show, because, Big Show's a giant and whatnot. Oh, can the MMA guy get stopped by the giant? I know he's UFC champion and all that. To be honest, I really don't like Brock Lesnar. As a, wrestler, I don't really watch UFC that much. It's not really my thing. But even it's insulting to just see, Big Show being, throwing Brock Lesnar around the place. It's insulting to my intelligence. Because you have the Big Show, not even a fucking couple of weeks before, dressed up as New Year's baby, or whatever the fuck it was, when he was in a nappy, and he was just standing there. And you're like, oh, this guy's the badass of our company, and he's going to take on this former UFC champion. How anyone can believe that is beyond me, but, whatever. The match mainly consisted of Brock Lesnar just using chairs and just repeatedly beating the Big Show before the match even began. I think Big Show got all one punch in, which he gave to Brock Lesnar's jaw, which caused him to stagger about a bit. Brock Lesnar then, of course, came back, won the match. I think what they're trying to do is build up Brock Lesnar as this, monster heel and how he can't be stopped and whatnot. To be honest, I'm glad that the blow-off of the whole thing was just showing Brock Lesnar to look like a beast, because, I think that really serves the storyline well to have some form of massive opposing threat that sort of can't be stopped. It's always good to have a monster heel on the loose, just so you can throw them into situations, and it's very good when you finally get that face that overcomes this. Just don't let him talk. Randy Orton, John Cena. We're going to come back to that one. So the Royal Rumble happens. The Royal Rumble, the main event itself, my favourite pay-per-view, one of the big four pay-per-views that WWE has prided itself on ever since the WWF days. Because, you know, they got scared off by a panda, so now they're WWE. But I digress. The entire event itself, to be honest, was lackluster. When you get the entire crowd chanting, you know, boring, and Daniel Bryan, I don't know why Daniel Bryan wasn't in the main event, like the Royal Rumble, so to speak. I get that you put him in the match beforehand, but he's your most popular guy. Your most popular guy. Like, I don't personally like him. But even I can see, holy fuck, everyone, or almost everyone in this entire arena is standing up doing the yes chants, and you're like, he's not worth being in the Rumble. There's a whole bunch fucking wrong with that entire... If you want to get people to come and watch your product, if you want people to stop bagging the shit out of your product because of how stupid and terrible it has become, then why don't you listen to the fans? The fans that have been... He is such a breakout star, and I'm not going to say superstar, but he is such a breakout, you know... I say star because he's not just... He's transcended wrestling. There was that basketball game, and there's other sports games where people just get up and they chant the whole, yes, yes, yes. It's not just a wrestling thing anymore. And I'm pretty sure going forward into the future, there will still be those yes chants in like some way or another, much like Stone Cold's "What" has been incorporated into wrestling culture. It's going to always be there. And to simply just be like, no matter what you do, where you always try and push him out of the fucking main event picture, people love him. And you're just going to keep doing that? Even that fucking failed heel turn you tried to do the other couple of weeks ago, I can't even remember. And this is the whole thing with the Raws. They're just a blur. I fucking barely watch them anymore. I never watch them live. I would just fucking stream through 3 hours of, you know, ads, boring promos, and I'll be like, hey, look, it's, I don't know, like, Roman Reigns, or Dean Ambrose, or Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, no, not Tyler Black, that was Ring of Honor, and I'll watch their matches, and I'll be like, hey, that's pretty cool stuff, even though, you know, sometimes they might not be so crisp. CM Punk's another one, but apart from that, I'm just, I don't want to fucking go through, oh, look, it's Brodus Clay, and he's on the warpath. Oh, shit. Fuck, it's Brodus Clay. Oh. I don't want to go through... As I said, I'm saving the John Cena stuff for later. Back to the actual main event of the Royal Rumble. You get a Kevin Nash as a surprise entrant, which, you know, kind of cool. I have a friend that likes Diesel, so I'm pretty sure he was happy about that. Apart from that, it was pretty lackluster. We got to see Alexander Rusev come up from NXT. Why the fuck people like Leo Kruger, my favourite, didn't come up, I don't know. Where was Xavier Woods, by the way? I thought he was supposed to be in that. Not that it's a big loss there. But, even, I know he got hurt, but I would have loved to see Enzo and Cass come up to the Royal Rumble. If he did some cool stuff, this is literally, I'm going through it right now, trying to think of what was stuff that I got generally excited for. Oh, and people say, oh, but CM Punk came in at number... You honestly... Look, I've been watching wrestling for a long time. Not just WWE/WWF, but TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, All Japan, WCW, ECW, like WCCW, AWA. I could go on. When you see CM Punk come out at number 1, and it's like the Authority, you just knew he was going to be fucking screwed over in some event. And you know, if he won, that would have been good. Great. Prove me wrong. I would love that. But the whole thing, I'm just like, when's it happening? Not to mention that CM Punk, Mr. Sleepy Pants, slept through the half of the fucking Royal Rumble. He did nothing. Like, he was in the corner and he slept while, you know, half the Royal Rumble happened. But anyway, if Sean can do it, then I suppose he can do it. Literally going through my mind, I think the biggest reaction from my mates and I was when Roman Reigns came out, and we were all just like, yeah, fuck, it's time to see Reigns shine, and he did. He got the Shield breakup, which was done pretty well. I think everybody that I know enjoyed it, even though it's fucking long time coming, but my guy, Roman Reigns, finally, I was really happy. I'm like, now we can get that moment. Maybe even at WrestleMania, he'll be doing something really cool. I'm not sure how they're going to have him in any capacity at the moment or what he's going to be doing, but I'm just happy to see that he's finally broken off, and maybe we can get that, you know, badass sort of face Roman Reigns. So that's really cool. And maybe we can go back to seeing Dean Ambrose's Joker-esque character. Here's where things really started taking a downturn. When I noticed that there was like only a couple of people left. And I was like, okay. So, to be honest, I thought it was going to be either 27, lucky number 27 that Batista came out. But it was 28, and that's because of his Royal Rumble number all of those years ago. So anyway, he comes out at number 28. I'm like, okay. So he's coming out at 28. That only leaves 2 more people. Fuck. Well, I haven't seen Big E Langston yet. And I'm not really sure that Rey Mysterio is going to come out because, you know, neither did Xavier Woods. And I noticed that and I was like, oh, who's it going to be? I have one fucking friend that was just like, it's going to be Hulk Hogan. And I'm like, please don't. But Rey Mysterio came out. And my God, those people in Pittsburgh did not like that one bit. They were hoping for almost anyone. Anyone. Like, I could see, like, maybe they hoped it was Daniel Bryan. And he was in the last guy coming in. He was going to kick the crap out of him. And he would get that win over the Authority. And he would be the face. And he would be going straight to WrestleMania against Randy Orton, the figurehead of the Authority. No. Everybody let it be known how dissatisfied they were with that. And even I was just like, fuck, really? And then we've boiled down to these guys. Returning Sheamus, you know, he was alright as a heel, didn't really like the face. I'm glad that Roman Reigns was there. He broke Kane's record with 12 eliminations in a single Rumble. That was very cool. And the crowd was booing everyone that wasn't Roman Reigns. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm thinking back now and I'm getting a bit pissed off because this is literally the reaction of, like, my mates and I when we're watching this. Yeah, come on Roman, yeah. Is he? And then you just hear Batista's theme hit and Batista's won. And we're like, Batista's won. Okay. You know what? And we just sat like that in silence, we accepted it. It wasn't good. There was no sort of emotional, yeah, if Roman Reigns won, I'd be like, fuck yes, finally, it's a new talent, they're doing something right with him, holy shit, I would have been speaking in spades, I would be like, forget all the other lackluster stuff, at least Roman Reigns came away from this as the Royal Rumble winner, but no, like, okay, ranting time begins, guys. Did Batista really need to win that Royal Rumble? I mean, he's fucking, like, won a Royal Rumble before. It's not like he needed to add it to his resume or something. And I'm pretty sure you can go into WrestleMania and just be like, hey, it's Batista, he's a returning superstar. Oh, fuck, I said superstar, you caught me, WWE. Returning wrestler, and he's coming back, and he's going to be versing, you know, whoever. I'm pretty sure anyone would be like, yeah, you know what, it's Batista. He can verse anybody he fucking likes. He was the animal back in the day. So he can, that's completely fine. Did he really need to win the Royal Rumble? Especially if Randy Orton is still holding on to the unified belt at WrestleMania. You could just literally say, hey guys, these guys were in Evolution. Now they're going to prove which one of them was the better youngster. And apparently Batista said some pretty harsh crap after the cameras cut. I don't know, I wasn't there. That's just what I've read. There was nothing but boos. Nothing but fucking boos happening right, like Batista won. Everyone wanted Roman Reigns to win. It would have been a much more satisfying ending if he did. But no, WWE is. Notice how Triple H's friends all won their matches tonight. Not, being conspiracy theorist or anything, just pointing it out. Now, you guys probably know, but I omitted one match. John Cena versus Randy Orton. Somebody pointed out the other day that this was going to be their 17th or 18th time, versing each other. And you wonder why nobody fucking cares, WWE. Like, show us something different, show us something new, show us something innovative. But no, you fucking get... And, guys, I'm not hating on Randy Orton. I mean, he's actually an alright wrestler when he wants to be. He can get in the ring and have some pretty good matches. I really liked the Legend Killer sort of heel. I thought that brought some actual genuine heat, because I'm like, hey, that guy deserves better than that. But John Cena, has anyone in the wrestling business ever had their character protected so long and so intensely as John Cena? Because I can't think of anyone. Like, maybe, sure, you've got your Kevin Nashes and your Hogans, and it's just like, even they lost fair and square every now and again. I fucking love Shawn Michaels as a wrestler, but he did some pretty bad shit backstage. Like, he was a politicking master. Sure, when he got in the ring, it was amazing matches all the time. But fuck, he was a real politicking bastard, and I can admit that as a Shawn Michaels fan. So if you're a John Cena fan and you can't figure out that he's either knows something or he's doing something backstage that constantly gets him thrust into the main event, because there's no way in fucking hell his talent's doing it. Like, have you seen him? I'm supposed to expect that a standing fireman's carry is his finisher. I see other fucking wrestlers do it. Oh, but they, you can just kip back up from that. But no, when John Cena does it, I mean, he must have fucking nukes in his hands that just fucking go off when you hit the ground. Or the STF, where he does the fucking wide open mouth and his stupid face. Like, does anybody resist the urge to want to punch that fucking face right in? Okay, and I can hear the John Cena fans now. But he's really good, and he could beat you up, Stuart. And I'm like, you know what? He probably could beat me up. I'm not, saying he couldn't. But guess what? This is my fucking opinion. And as I said earlier, you're entitled to your own. And I'm not sure what him beating me up would accomplish anyway. I'd be like, wow, that wasn't wrestling. The very fucking fact that you could even stand here and you could argue that John Cena... Okay. Well, I can hear my battery is actually about to run out, so I'll try and condense this as fast as I can and try and let you know the point. If you say that John Cena sells merchandise more than any other wrestler or superstar, whatever the fuck you want to call it at this point, I've heard it enough to say superstar. I prefer a wrestler, but I'm going to say it eventually just because of how many times they force feed it to you. If you think John Cena sells more merchandise than any other person, that's because he has more merchandise than any other person. Therefore, there is more of it to sell. I don't want to go out and buy a fucking Daniel Bryan shirt, but if I did, I'd only have one to choose from rather than fucking 60 billion colours and, different designs of whatever. Number 2, John Cena is good for the women. Okay, apart from being extremely, sexist, I know 2 different women that watch wrestling. The first one, she does not like John Cena whatsoever. She's never liked him. And you know what? That's her opinion once again. Doesn't have to be yours. Doesn't have to be mine. But that's her opinion. Never liked him. The second one is much more interesting. because she only started watching wrestling about 4 months ago, and like I'm talking watching wrestling, and she literally just started, and she was like, oh yeah, let's take a look at these people and whatnot. And she's like, oh, these people are pretty cool. I like these and these, this dude, and then, you know, this chick, this. Anyway, she didn't know anything about John Cena. Within those 4 months, she can't stand him. She's just like, she gets so bored and so angry, as if she'd been watching it as much as I had. She is that angry at him. It's WWE. Can't you see that? Why does John Cena need such a push if he fails? Like, you're giving him this push because you're like, oh, he's failing, and so we need to push him harder as a face. So you've admitted to yourself, even if it's something you don't want to, by giving him these constant pushes, you know he's a failure. He wouldn't need all these fucking pushes if he was if he got over like a normal person, like Daniel Bryan or Roman Reigns tonight, when they just naturally started chanting Roman Reigns. I have heard various stories about how they're piping, like through the speakers, John Cena chants, just to get him started. I've heard things of your signs being taken away at events. I know that when I went to see the event, nobody liked John Cena except for all the little kids. And which brings me to my third thing. But John Cena's good for the kids. John Cena, like, let's be honest, guys. If you fucking push Daniel Bryan as in the same scenario that you do Cena, as in he beats everybody, he's really nice, and you know, etc., etc., kids are gonna like him. Like, honestly, kids think whoever wins the most, whoever gets the most victories in wrestling is the coolest guy. They're like, that guy goes out and kicks ass. You know, with less expletives, I guess. And they're like, I really like that guy, he's cool. He can go out there and get it done. If you do that with Daniel Bryan, I get it. You guys don't think he looks, once again, looks like a wrestler. Because you guys are the authorities on that, right? And you're like, he'll never fucking be popular. Yet, there you have it, entire crowd chanting for his name. It just really pisses me off that you don't even know your fan base one bit. One bit. Because you hear them chanting for what they want. And you hear people like Jim Ross the other week who was saying that we thought what they were doing with Daniel Bryan was a big mistake when they decided to turn him heel. Or Mick Foley, just after the Royal Rumble, how he's like, I have never been so disgusted going away from a pay-per-view as I had with the Royal Rumble. When these guys, and especially like Mick Foley, who's been nothing but a good supportive wrestler to the company, and you even made him say that John Cena was the king of Extreme, or like the most hardcore wrestler. You made him say that. He said that for you, and this very same guy is like telling you that you fucked up. So literally, you guys should go home, and while you're about to hit the bed and just lie down, before you go to sleep, just think in your head, what if we're wrong? What if we're like wrong about this whole Daniel Bryan thing? What if we just give him a chance? Is that so fucking difficult? Oh, no. You're just a fucking mark, Stuart. You're a mark. You fucking... I bet you go to the wrestling friends and you really hate all the heels and you fucking really cheer for all the faces. I cheer for the good wrestlers. I like wrestling. I've watched it long enough to know. Smart wrestling fans. None of them enjoy John Cena. None of them. And so when you push this guy to be the top face of your company, and nobody likes him, and you realise nobody likes him, so you're like, let's keep pushing him. What kind of fucking sense does that make? I just heard the beeper go off for like 2 minutes to go before my battery runs out. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Extremely fucking dissatisfied with this event. Hate John Cena. If John Cena isn't out of the title picture after WrestleMania 30, if he's just not fucking gone from the company, I don't know if I'll keep watching. Let's just hope that Elimination Chamber is better. And if WrestleMania 30 is terrible, I might be done with WWE for a while. I mean, hey, there's always Ring of Honor and TNA. So thank you for listening to my rant. I'm not sure how long this went. I'm sure it's probably over maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20. So thanks for watching, guys. And who knows, if we cheer loud enough for Daniel Bryan or whoever we want, or if we just speak out